Alright, y'all. Today's episode is not for the squeamish or weak of stomach. We are making something today called liver and onions. So if you don't like to see raw bloody meat, look away now and come back in a few seconds. So there's my liver and my onions. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to flour my liver and put it into a skillet that's been heating up and has a little oil. Alright, so first thing I want to do is cook up my liver. Making a mess. That's okay, we clean as we go. Alright, so I'm cooking the last piece. Now that the last piece of liver is done, I'm going to cook up my onions. Alright, so I'm going to salt these a little bit. And the salt will actually help leach some moisture out of the onions, which will in turn make sure they're softer. So you see how they're looking so good, so yummy. Alright, so the onions are done now. And I turned it on low for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about half of these out, maybe a little more than half, and put them with the liver for now. I'm going to be serving these two ways. A couple of them are going to be smothered, and a couple will just be just the liver and onions. Alright, so there we have our onions. And what I'm going to do now, because we're going to be making gravy to smother the onions, is I'm going to take the flour that I dredged the liver in and just sprinkle some of that over the onions. Now I'm going to turn the heat back up and I'm going to brown this flour. It actually looks like it needs a little bit more oil. So I'm just going to add a little bit more oil to that. So I can make this gravy. Now you're going to want to make this darker, because for the liver and onions you want a gravy that's going to be very flavorful, and the darker it is, the more flavorful it'll be. So again, this is on medium heat. Alright, so I'm going to season this with a little salt, a little pepper. And so we did put salt and pepper on the liver, and we put some on the onions. So now we put some for the gravy. Alright, so it's getting a little darker. So this is dark enough now. It's that nice brown color. So what I'm going to do now is add my water. So I was always taught to add it all at once. I've seen some chefs just add a little at a time. And it always turns out right for me. I use my handy dandy spatula. I know some people are like, I ain't never seen nobody make gravy like that. Well, this is how I do it. I just turn my spatula over like this, make sure there's no lumps. So what happens is the flour and the fat, they do something and they come together and the flour starts absorbing the liquid. That's what makes the gravy thick. Alright, so my gravy is done. You can always tell by the way the bubbles are thick coming up. See how thick that gravy is? Kind of leaves a trail when I scrape the bottom. Alright, and also the way it looks on there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add my liver back in. Well, not all of it, but a couple pieces. And let it re-warm up in the gravy. Whew. Alright, there we go. Add some of the onions back in here. There we go. Just kind of let that all meld together. I'll stop the world and meld with you. Alright. So it's still going. Get that gravy all over that. Alright, so we'll let this sit for about 5 minutes and then we'll serve it up. Alright, so here's my liver and onions two ways. Here I have the smothered liver and onions, which means it's liver and onions with gravy. And then I just have fried liver and onions, which is just the sauteed liver with the onions. And I served it up with Brussels sprouts. Yummy! I know, it's so weird. This used to be my favorite meal as a child. So thank you for stopping by Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for stopping by.